Hey guys, Lexa here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I styled my Himiko Toga Wig. Today we used a wig from Arta Wigs. It is a Chibi classic in the color Fairy Blonde. I will link everything in the description below that I used. I used two large, they were kind of large, these are kind of large. I don't know the exact size, but kind of large Styrofoam balls for these. And then you'll need your hot glue gun, Styrofoam balls, a Chibi classic wig, and then scissors, of course, for styling. And I used Garnier Messmaker to make all these ends fringe, and some Mega Hold hairspray to spray it all together. So I'm going to be showing you how I styled this wig, and I'm going to be voiceovering everything so we can go over how to style this wig, so hopefully you can make it yourself if you are wanting to make a Himiko Toga cosplay. So let's get started on that, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so first things first, besides chugging down my monster, is we are going to cut off those strings off the pre-made pigtails so that we don't have those extra strings hanging down, and we're going to take our elastics and we're going to put them in 3 places on the pigtails so that we can save this hair and use it later. If you do not do this, then you're just going to have hair everywhere all over the floor, and it's just going to be a big mess. So make sure you tie them all up so whenever we cut them off, you can reuse this hair for the big buns. Also, you want to make sure that you put pins all around the crown of your wig, so whenever you're cutting your wig, that your wig is not going to move around whenever you're cutting it, and it stays nice and stiff and in place, so you're not getting all these weird cuts. And whenever cutting it, you're going to cut as close to the rope as possible, so that way you can salvage as much of that pigtail as possible, so you can use that for the buns later. It's going to look a mess, but I promise it'll look good in the end. Just bear with me and it will get there. When cutting these pigtails, I had to move over to my titanium scissors because my hair cutting scissors could not cut this thick hair. It was so thick, my titanium scissors were the only thing that could cut through it, and it still took a while to cut through, as you can tell. But after I got those pigtails cut off, I just set them aside, and then I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit with my hair cutting scissors. And then we are going to get the hot glue gun out. I got a temperature changing hot glue gun that goes from high temp to low temp. I just left it on the low temp, and you are going to just fill that whole piece of cut hair that we just cut off, and you're gonna fill that whole section with hot glue until you can't fill it with hot glue no more. You want it to just hold all that hair together so that it's not going anywhere, and it's just a stiff base for a bun to slide on later. It is going to take a while to fill that whole little tiny section with hot glue and get it all stuck together, and just letting it dry and constantly repeating the process. But just be patient with it and just keep working with it. You're going to need to make sure that that is completely stuck together so that you don't have it just fall apart later. I promise it will be worth it in the end. Okay, so after those pigtails are nice and glued and dry, we are going to cut those straight bangs. So I just got my hair cutting scissors and just lined it up where I wanted it, cut across, and then I just cleaned it up by cutting straight up, and just kept going, and gives it the wig more of a natural look if you cut straight up, because if you just go straight across, it's not gonna look good. So make sure you do all that cutting straight up and all that styling. I don't know all the fancy terms, but just do all that nice cutting and angle cutting. Okay, so after you get all that nice cutting and all that nice shaping around the face done, we are going to be working on the buns. I just got 2 styrofoam balls from Walmart, and I just kind of lined them up with my head until I was like, okay, this size seems like it'd be good bun size. And so I don't know the exact size, but just line it up with your head, have someone go with you until it looks like good buns. And if it looks like good buns, then it's good buns. Anyway, you're going to take a pair of scissors and you're just going to stab a hole through the top. Just don't hurt yourself. Just poke a hole through the top, and then I just used the stick of a makeup brush and just kept digging through it and this wiping it across my desk to smooth out the bottom. So the bottom was like smooth flat, and then the inside I like hollowed out all the way. Just try not to go all the way through. You don't want to like break through the wall. You just want a hollow circle. And then after you get that hollow circle, we're going to repeat the process with the second one. I'm sorry, I can't talk. When hollowing out your styrofoam balls, you don't want to completely chop off the whole bottom. That's why I just kept grinding it across my desk and kept digging out the inside till it fit how I liked it. You don't want to like take away that circle shape, so that way it's a nice perfect circle bun. You just want to make sure that there's enough room on the inside of the styrofoam ball for that stubby hair piece, the hair around the outside, and hot glue and whatnot to all fit in there. Okay, so just continue this process on the second styrofoam piece and just try to keep carving it until it looks as similar to the first one as possible, so that way they are nice and symmetrical. That way your anime buns are nice and even. Just keep going. It's going to take a while and your hands are going to get tired, but just keep going. Just keep going. You can do it. Okay, so next we are going to go on to the painting process. You're going to want to paint these styrofoam balls a color close to your wig, so that way when you put the hair onto the styrofoam ball, if anything shows through, it's not going to be like this bright white showing through. I use King's Gold in the Apple Barrel brand, just a really cheap brand, and it's King's Gold. It went with the Fairy Blonde wig that I had. I believe that's the color. It was Fairy Blonde? I believe so. I'll double check on that. But you just want to dab. If you've ever taken art or know what pointillism is, do that on the styrofoam ball, because just like stroking it in, it's not going to go on the styrofoam very well. So you're just going to want to dab it in. That's the only thing the easiest way I can say that is just dab it in, just all the way in. And get all those pores filled until it is completely covered. And then you're going to want to let it completely dry. It's going to take a little while because styrofoam takes a while to dry. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. But it's going to take a little while to dry. I just kind of put my fan in front of it and just let my fan blow on it on low to kind of speed up the process, so I wasn't waiting for evers. After many hours and another monster, we are going to be finally putting these hair into these styrofoam oranges. They look like oranges to me. I just poked a hole through the top with my hair cutting scissors and then used my pencil that I found on the floor and I just poked a hole through it until it was just a nice circle hole. And then you're going to take just a little bit of that hair, gather up as much as you think that will fit inside that little hole, and just hot glue the whole end together until it makes like a sturdy end, so you just don't have loose hairs everywhere. You want to make sure it's a nice sturdy piece of hair. And then after you get that all glued together, you're going to stick it inside your styrofoam orange looking thing. It looks like an orange with hair to me. I cannot get over that, but it is an orange with hair. You're going to put your hair in your styrofoam orange. And then you're going to repeat this process for the second one. Just try to keep all your hair together so you don't lose all that hair. We really need to use that for later. After you have successfully gotten the amount of hair that you would like to go inside the styrofoam bun and have not burnt the crisp out of your fingers, then you are going to secure it in place. We are going to put just a little bit of hot glue on the end and stick it in the top of the styrofoam ball thing, and try not to get any of the extra hairs glued. I just held them up and just let it dry completely, or cool, dry, whatever it is, same difference. But just let it dry and then put some glue on the inside as well so that it's not going anywhere. That piece is like our main base piece, so make sure that that is nice and secure. After burning my fingers to a crisp, I decided to finally get up and go get a bowl of ice water. I suggest getting a bowl of ice water to begin with. If you're going to be using a hot glue gun for a long period of time, it'll save your fingers in the end, and or just wear gloves. But I'm not a glove type of person. If you watch any of my videos, you know I don't wear gloves. Anyway, we are going to be gluing this hair onto the styrofoam ball. You're going to want to line it up in the way you would like it to lay down, and just take a little bit of hot glue at a time and just slowly lay your hair down. Make sure it's nice and flat so it just lines up and wraps all the way down. I had to cut off a little bit of excess at the bottom because you don't need all that extra hair just floating on the inside of your styrofoam ball. You just need enough that it wraps and just kind of glues on the inside just a tiny bit so that it looks like a nice rounded bun. You're just going to keep repeating this process. Just make sure you take your time and keep laying down your hairs, gluing them down, using your ice water. Just make sure you utilize everything and just take your time. It's going to take a while. This wig took me 7.5 hours, so just make sure you take your time. It's okay if it takes you under 7 hours or if it takes you more time. Just good art takes time, so just take your time, focus, take a break if it frustrates you. But just keep going. It'll turn out good in the end. Okay, so after you finish those pieces, you're going to repeat the process, but this time you're just going to glue the hairs, and instead of sticking them in the top, you're going to glue it from the inside of the styrofoam ball and then just wrap it all across the outside and just keep crisscrossing it so it looks natural, like natural hair. You're just going to keep repeating this process and keep wrapping it until it covers that styrofoam ball completely and you can't see any more of that king's gold or whatever color you used underneath your wig. To get those crazy fringes, I just did the same thing. I just glued some hair together and then glued it on the inside and let it stick out the sides, and then trimmed it to the size that I needed and just did it all the way across the inside rim of the styrofoam bun so that when I glued it onto the main piece that it would have all these pieces sticking out of it and it would look like a crazy bun. As you can see, they are not the prettiest from the bottom, but from the top they look like really good anime buns. From the inside, just don't look at the inside, you don't have to look at all the hot glue. But I think they turned out really nice. Next, we are going to actually glue them onto the base. I was very nervous to do this part, but just want to take your time. You're going to cover that whole stubby pigtail piece in hot glue. Cover that whole entire thing, and then you're going to put a little bit of hot glue on the inside of your styrofoam ball and just shove that styrofoam ball on there. You don't want to get glue everywhere, so just go with it. Just shove it on there till it's on there. Put a little bit of hot glue around the edges just so you can make sure that it's nice and stuck all the way around and you get it nice and secure so that that bun looks like it's part of that wig, so it's like one whole wig. Just make sure that you don't get glue everywhere. That's why I said just when you put it on there, just go for it. Just do it. Just do it. You can do it.
Once you got it all nice and secure in place, we finally have our Himiko Toga Wig. I'm very happy with how my wig came out. I hope this video helps anyone who is wanting to make this wig themselves, or anyone who is just wanting to make crazy anime buns or anything of that nature. I hope this video helps you, and don't forget to check out any of my other wig videos for any other wigs that I've styled.
Okay guys, so here's the completed wig. I am filming this for the second time because the first time I recorded it, I didn't hit record, so it didn't record anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed my wig video, and I hope you found it helpful for anyone who is wanting to make their Himiko Toga cosplay, or anyone who is wanting to make crazy buns like this on their cosplay. This was my first time styling a wig this crazy. I think I did a good job on it. It burnt my fingers to a crisp with that hot glue gun, but it was very much worth it. And I really like this. I will link everything that I use in the description below for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for any more cosplay, hair related, or any other weird things that I do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!